you! Don't watch that! Watch this! This is the heavy, heavy monster sound! The nuts...
Alright, good day class. So if you were diligent and you would have watched the videos that I've posted, I'll just give you a brief recap on ratios. One of the videos did look at this, but because this is one of the things that we're actually going to do, I decided to make a separate video just going through how do you go about simplifying ratios. Alright, so ratios can be simplified just like fractions, and I'm gonna go over what simplification is using what fractions. So let's use 4 over 10. So this is a nice common sweet fraction, and as we can see, we have 4 as a numerator, 10 as a denominator. What simplification is that we can represent this fraction using smaller numbers, and the way we go about doing that is we first find the highest common factor or the greatest common factor. So we first have to find or list the common factors for each of these things, each of these numbers. So for 4, just to recap, every number has at least 2 factors, 1 and itself, and yeah, and then you should know 2 goes in here, and for 10 it's 1, 2, 5 and 10. So these are the factors of 4 and these are the factors of 10. So the common factors are 1, 1, 2 and 2, but the highest of those 2 would be 2. So therefore the HCF of 4 and 10 is 2. The highest common factor is 2. So once you know what the highest common factor is, you therefore divide both the numerator and the denominator by this 2. Our numerator by 2, and we're also going to divide our denominator by 2, and that will give us this in its lowest terms, or in other words, simplifying 4 over 10th, and we're going to get 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So 4 tenths, 4 over 10 in its lowest terms, or simplifying 4 over 10 gives us 2 fifths, or 2 over 5. Now this is stuff that you already know. With that in mind, we're going to look at how we simplify ratios, and it's very similar. So suppose we have a ratio 10 to 5. Alright? We do the same exact thing. We have to find the HCF. Before, when we had the fraction, it was find the HCF of the numerator and the denominator. When it's a ratio, we have to find the HCF of the numbers. So in this ratio, in this particular ratio, we have 10 and 5. So we first list the factors of 5 and the factors of 10. Sorry, I'm a very busy person. Sorry about the notifications. The factors of 5, as you know, 5 is a prime number, so it should only have 2 factors, 1 and 5. And 10, well, we just did those, 1, 2, 5 and 10. Now obviously 5 is the highest common factor, so our HCF is 5. Similarly, when we found the HCF, we just divide each number in the ratio by the HCF. So we're going to divide this 10 by 5, and we're going to divide this 5 by 5. And simplifying this ratio, 5 10 divided by the HCF 5, that will give you 2. And 5 divided by 5 will give you 1. So simplifying this ratio 10 to 5, you're going to get 2 to 1. Alright, I'm going to do about 2 more examples, and then you can check the Google Classroom, and that will have more for you to try. Remember, you can copy notes at any time. Just pause the video and you can do that. Let's try 12 to 18. Now, you guys are supposed to be able, well, I believe you're supposed to be able to just look at these numbers and figure out what the HCF is. Alright, now, I know what it is. In the meantime, for those of you who can't do that, let's work it out on the side. So we have to find the factors of 12 and the factors of 18. Now, factors of 12, the first two factors you should put by default 1 and itself. Alright, now 12 is an even number, so which means 2 is in there. 2 times what will give you 12? 2 times 6, so 6 is also in there. And then we can fill in the rest, 3 and 4. So we have our factors of 12 there. Let's look at the factors of 18. 1 and 18. 18 is also an even number, so we can put a 2. And 2 times 9 will give us 18. And 6 is also in there. And 3 is also in there. I believe that's it. So we have the factors of 12. We have the factors of 18. Clearly, the highest common factor here would be, I believe, 6. So therefore, we have to divide both of our numbers in the ratio by 6. So 12 divided by 6 will give us 2, and 18 divided by 6 will give us 3, and therefore simplifying 12 to 18 will give us 2 to 3. Alright, let's look at one more. 14 to 21 to 28. Woo, this looks like a big one. I want you to pause the video and see if you can work this out. Instead of having 2 numbers in the ratio like we did before, now we have 3. So it may seem a bit difficult, but all you have to do is find the highest common factor for these 3 numbers. Alright, I'm gonna please pause the video and try to work it out, and hopefully we can get the same answer. For those of you who are struggling, let's go. So the factors of 14, 1 and 14 for sure. 14 even number, so we put a 2. 2 sevens are 14, and I believe those are the only factors. 1, 2, 7, and 14. For 21, 1 and 21. A lot of students find it difficult to find factors for 21, but just remember your 3 times tables. 3 sevens will give you 21, and that's it. 1, 3, 7, and 21. And for 28, well, we start with 1 and 28. It's an even number, so therefore 2 is in there. 2 14s are 28. 14 is in there, which means 7 is also in here. And 7 4s are 28. So those are the factors for 28. And if you look at them, the HCF will be 7. Alright? So which means you have to divide each of these by 7. So 14 divided by 7 will give us 2. 21 divided by 7 will give us 3. Oops. And 28 divided by 7 will give us 4. So 14 to 21 to 28 simplified will give you 2 to 3 to 4. And that's essentially how you simplify ratios. I'm going to give you some to try and then some for marks. I'm going to move on from there.